How's everybody doing today? Hi, it's 2 January. The new year is here, and it's time to get rich. That's right. It's time to get rich. But I'm not necessarily meaning what you're thinking. I don't just mean materialistically. Matter of fact, I don't mean that at all. Don't get me wrong. It's the new year. It's 2023. I hope all of you out there, my friends, that if you don't have a job, you find one. If you have one, you prosper at it. I mean that with all my heart. I hope you have a very good year. I hope you have a good year financially. I really honestly do. I hope that things happen the way you want it. But that's not the crust of my talk. Get rich for 2023. Get rich in the right way. Get rich up here. Set goals. And I'm not necessarily talking about, again, this is not a talk about materialism. There's a time for that. There's a time for people, self-motivating gurus and all those people, Tony Robbins and all those people I want to talk to. This is much different. 2023 is here. Okay? It's time to get rich. Understand what's very, very important in life. Please understand that as we go forward. We have so many things we have so much stress that's happened in the last couple of years, whether it was the COVID thing, the economy, inflation, on, elections and controversies and things. Hey, look, right, left, right, wrong, left, Democrat, Republican. One thing we can all agree on has been a lot of stress in the last couple of years for everybody. And this is not a political talk in any way, shape, or form. Get your priorities straight in 2023. It goes for me too. Really, really understand. If you just look at the big picture, I have lost so many different people that I've known in the last couple of years. Some of them older, some of them not. I'd say over 15 people in the last 2 years between 2021 and 22 that I knew left this earth. 15 to 20 people. That's right. Yes, some of them were older relatives, things of that nature, but not all of them. Some were my age or younger. Through different means, all different ways. It wasn't necessarily COVID. I think one I can think of COVID. The rest of them, pneumonia, heart attacks, cancer, you name it, accidents, you name it. Get your priorities straight. Start with Jesus Christ. And I'm not a preacher. I'm not here to say I'm Pastor Rick, because I'm far from a preacher and I'm far from anybody. I'm a person who, when he was younger, was rather embarrassing. I'm going to tell you right now, 2023. I think my 20s into 30s, I was a selfish person. Because I didn't think much about beyond the next day or the next couple weeks, or things of that nature. I never really did. And I'll be the first to admit that. Okay? There was a lot of lack within me. Sort of self-centered. I never really thought of the future. Nor did I think much of other people other than what I wanted. And I regret that. And I know that I was wrong. I'm here to tell you, at 58 years old, which is what I just turned, I'm lucky to have lived to this point to understand what's to get rich. Get rich, your faith, your family, your very good friends, and appreciate simplicity of life. Whatever you have, whatever the cards have dealt you, do your very, very best in 2023. If you're a janitor or if you're a CEO, I don't care what you are. It doesn't make you better than anybody else. But appreciate what you have. It doesn't have to be the most. You don't have to get 5 houses and 3 cars and all that. That's not what's going to make you happy. I see a lot of posts, LinkedIn, this and that, about prosperity and hoping you have and posts on Facebook about you're going to get so much money this year. Where's that nonsense? Is that your goal? Is that it? Because it never happens. All these things, if you press yes, you're going to get all this. You're going to get blessed and God's going to give you all this. Is that what you think life's about? Is that what your goal is? To constantly see if you can get more accumulation of things than somebody else? I'm not saying not to work hard. I've said that before in talks. We should always work very hard. and do the best that we can to support our families. I absolutely. But if you think that the only thing that's important is materialism, you are on the road to a lot of stress, a lot of disappointment. And there's a lot of people in this life today think that's what's important, is materialism. And only materialism. You want examples? Hugh Hefner. Very rich man, had young girls around him all the time, and people will tell you, the young girls that were in his stead, that worked with him, said he was the biggest a-hole going. He was extremely belligerent. This is a man well into his 80s, higher 80s, having sex with 20-year-old girls at his command, and they would do that just to be a Playboy bunny and just to have the notoriety. And he was not a very pleasant person. J.P. Getty, they actually did a show on him several years ago. Died in 1978, multi-billionaire. J.P. Getty, the gas. Miserable person to his family. Read the history of this man. Miserable. Had hired all these ladies in their 20s and 30s basically to be his Columbine. When he wanted, every night he'd have sex with a different one that he wanted to have. He paid them all kinds of money, but they were slaves. They had to stay in his place. They could go out shopping, get anything they wanted, but they had to stay there and do what he wanted. And when if he wanted to have relations with them one night, that one night, the next one another night, they pimped themselves out just for money. He was a miserable human being. Wealth and materialism does not bring, contentment. If you think that's the answer, that's the main answer, you're going to be with all kinds of disappointment. History has shown that. The happiest people on this earth are not necessarily the most richest people. Awesome publication, My Imitation of Christ. Basically, it's the Bible phrases with Thomas Kempis making commentary. I'm going to make you a commentary. This is a very old publication. Wonderful. Thoughts of Death, very quickly, from Maccabees. Very quickly, must thou be gone, and a man is here today, and tomorrow he is vanished. And then the commentary. And when he is taken out of sight, he is quickly taken out of mind. I've commented this before. Nobody cares. I die today, tomorrow. Life goes on. The stock markets go on. Same with you. Nobody cares. Okay? It says here, if you've seen a man die, think that you must pass the same way. So I'm going to read about it. What I'm trying to tell you is appreciate the simplicity of life in 2023. Seek the riches that count. Work your jobs. Go to your businesses. Work hard. I'm not saying sit there and not do that. Laugh. Have fun. Have a wonderful, positive attitude. But remember, what is a priority? What brings you riches, lasting riches? First of all, Jesus Christ. There's no doubt about it in my mind. Second of all, related to that, your family and your friends, which will never go away until the day people die. It doesn't matter how much money, you can have family and friends. Okay? And they were given to you by God. And it doesn't cost a dime. Appreciation of simplicity and what you've been given, which is also biblical. Okay? If you've been given skills to be a high-level manager, then all power to you. Use them properly. Okay? If you're a rich man, if you have money, there's nothing wrong with that. You have a responsibility. God-given responsibility for community. Okay? To be a Danny Thomas with St. Jude. Not a Hugh Hefner exploiting young women his whole life. There's a difference between the two. Look at it. One's a lasting legacy. One was a selfish person nobody cares about, did nothing for anybody. Okay? Both had a lot of money. Okay? If you have a lot of money, God has blessed you. Now you have more responsibility. You can do a lot for people. Yes, you can. But if you're just a pedestrian person who makes an honest living like myself and many others, nothing wrong with that. Appreciate simplicity. Appreciate what God has given you instead of what you don't have or what somebody else has, and you can be better than them and get more than them. No, appreciate what you've been given, the riches you've been given. Appreciate that. That will be the key to your riches for 2023. That will be the key to you excelling and being the best you can be in the right way. Not just materialism. That ain't going to get you anywhere. It's going to get you this. It's going to be like eating a lot of chocolate. You'll get a high from buying this and buying that, and then you come crashing down. That's what it'll be, because it'll never be enough. No. Seek the proper riches in 2023. And you will be very happy when it becomes 2024. I guarantee it. It's Rick here on 2 January. Hope you have a great night. God bless.